This is Dennis Black, and here's your sales tip of the week. As we conclude the sales portion of the first quarter 2020, techniques and tips to improve with realtors and borrowers, we'll focus on the final part that we have not reviewed in key sales components during an interview. Whether it be with a realtor or a borrower, as we ask questions during a call, the one skill we've not focused on but should to emphasize in its critical nature is called reinforcing. Reinforcing is when during your interview you ask questions and uncover and or create needs from the realtor or the borrower. You at that point of the call make sure you introduce the benefit of working with you or your company. As the call progresses, your ability to do this adds the reason for the client to utilize your lending services. By building a bond with either the realtor or the borrower during the call, you establish the value and the purpose of why you should be the lender that they work with moving forward. Reinforcing is the introduction of the benefit, a feature you offer as a lender matched to a need the client has been established or has looking for lending services. When you do this, you create a reason for them to consider utilizing you, and it's the introduction not only of the benefit, but the value of your personal capabilities as well as your company's products and or services. During the call, as we move through the interview, we're looking for these opportunities to bring these value propositions to the client. The more benefits you introduce or reinforcing statements you make, you set up the logic as we discussed in the last flash briefing, which leads to a close. Once we establish these benefits, we use them in our summary statement. During the call, as I've suggested previously, whenever you bring a benefit to a sales call, circle it in your notes or double underline it, whatever your preference is. When you review the call, you highlight the reinforcing statements you've made during the call. What I'm mentioning this for is because you don't bring up benefits at the end of the call. You do it throughout the call, which then establishes in the client's mind the logic and rationale to proceed to use you as a lender. The more benefits, the easier it is to close. Fewer benefits, no chance to close. People don't change for change's sake. They change because of a perceived reason to utilize your services. So as we mentioned last week, the three most powerful words at the end of a call when you ask for business, wouldn't you agree, or isn't that right, makes it difficult for the client to say no. But what makes it extremely challenging is when you have benefits behind your summary, which then leads to the progression to the client readily being able to say yes when you request business from them. Selling has moving parts. Not one is a consistent call in terms of here's what I will do and will work every time. It's an intuitive feel. Have I asked the questions? Have I listened? Have I made the reinforcing statements and introduced benefits when the opening was presented to me? And then did I use these in a quality summary and asking for acceptance, utilizing those three most powerful words. Once we do this on a regular basis, in the months ahead of March and April, we will establish our realtor relationships at a high level before they get busy. And with home sales up in 2020, the realtor will be busy from April through October. You need to get to them now. And as we discussed, in January, who's in and who's out, you should be making that determination as you proceed by the end of March. Then with your borrowers still in prime, looking for either refinances or purchases, utilize the proper techniques to make sure you're in position to gain that business and differentiate yourself from other lenders. As we move forward in 2020, in March, we're going to look at how to improve our operations communication between ourselves, with our operations team, and for the operations staff with the clients that you work with, whether it be a borrower or a realtor. We will start that as we proceed into the month of March. This is Dennis Black. Good luck and good selling.